Hello, beautiful people. My name is Tiffany Bernard, your dynamic living coach. As you can see, I'm in my car. I thought I was getting in the car to run to the grocery store, but that kind of changed because I just felt the need to finally share a few things that's been sitting on my heart and my mind with you all. You know, it's been a crazy week and it's been very overwhelming emotionally for most of us. There's been a lot going on in our society, and it's tough, very tough. Of course, I've seen so much dissension and so much separation, so much anger, so much hatred, so much hurtful comments. And the thing is, what I've noticed, I'm not sure if you all noticed, everybody wants to be right. So we got to dig a little deeper as it relates to our arguments and the motives behind what we do, especially if you're hearing each other but not listening. That's two different things. And it sounds like, from what I've observed, a lot of us are talking at each other and not really hearing and listening, rather, to each other. So I also wanted to just encourage you, consider keeping that in mind, that regardless if you've chosen to be against Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, and I've chosen those words intentionally. If you've chosen to be against something, I would love for all of us to really slow down just a little bit and get back to a place where heart matters. Because the way I see it, that's the bottom line to a lot of this stuff. You know, as a dynamic living coach, for those of you who know me professionally and personally, I get to the root of things. So when I help my clients move forward to do these dynamic goals and, life-changing events, we have to get back to the root of things to figure out what's been holding them back in the first place. And that's a transferable principle with anything we do. There's roots to these things. You know, when people say there's levels to these things, there's roots to these things. So at the end of the day, I firmly believe, for out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So a lot of stuff that comes from here starts here. So with that said, I would love for each and every one of us, not just you and you and you, I would love for us to check our ingredients. Please check your ingredients. And what I mean by that, I heard a spoken word artist say this years ago, and it stood out to me. But check your ingredients. You know, what's going on inside of you to allow you to do certain things, to make you feel some kind of way or not feel some kind of way. So, for example, if you are thriving off this anger, this confusion, this, hatred, you're a part of the problem, you're a part of the separation, all these different things, check your ingredients. Please check your ingredients. If you've seen, as many of us have seen or heard or read articles about what most people deem senseless deaths, amongst, Black men and women, and, of course, hence the Black Lives Matter movement. If you've seen these videos, or you've seen the news coverage of these families crying, the kids, the wives, the girlfriends crying, and, people are rallying, people are posting, and you're still like, well, but check your ingredients. Especially, I know we all have an opinion, right? But if you're seeing these things and you're seeing the pain and the hurt, and especially people feel like these are senseless deaths due to the lack of due process, meaning there's order to things. There's order. There's supposed to be order lawfully. There's order in the way we're supposed to live our lives, all different type of things. So if it's an unlawful order and there's no due process, meaning these people are no longer alive to defend themselves in court. You know what I mean? And so if there's no due process, meaning even from the beginning, why did these people get on your radar in the first place, right? And then there's why, if you feel the need to take them into custody, if you feel the need to de-escalate them or the situation, then you arrest them and you take them to the jail cell, then they stand before the judge and then they defend themselves. That's due process. And so these people are gone. They're dead in front of our eyes, literally. And so people are hurting. So whether you agree in the order of things or not, if you're seeing these things and seeing people cry out and you're still saying, yeah, but, please check your ingredients. Please, please, please check your ingredients. Because here's the buts. I've heard from all sides, not just, black sides, white sides, brown sides. I've heard the human race say a number of things. You know, well, black people kill each other. Okay, that's true. They need to check their ingredients, and so do we, as it relates to how we feel about it. White people kill each other. Check your ingredients. We need to check our ingredients about how we feel about it. There's domestic violence in relationships. You know, men beat and kill their women. Women kill and beat their men. I've seen some of the snap shows, you know what I mean? People harm children. They kill kids. You know, they molest kids. They rape kids. And, you know, women get raped. All these different things that we know exist. Yes, we know. Check your ingredients, and check your ingredients when you respond or you see these things and you feel some kind of way. You know, do you feel empathy? Do you feel sympathy? Are you desensitized, or do you celebrate? You know what I mean? Do you care less? So I really want you all to check your ingredients, because at the end of the day, we can bicker all day about who lives matter and who doesn't matter. And, you know, we can speak up, and I'm glad we do. But at the end of the day, this is a heart matter. This is a human being matter. You know, sorry guys. So here's the tricky part, and I really want to challenge you all on this. If you really believe in all lives matter, like, so for me, I'm a believer in God. So I do value life, regardless of what color you are, what age. I value your life. I believe we all have a divine purpose here in this life. We've all been given life, right? So I value lives, right? All lives. Here's the thing, though. Considering the chaos that we have in our society and the discord and just all the stuff that I've mentioned, I think the proper phrasing should be all lives should matter. I think that's what we're saying, right? Regardless of what you've chosen to be for or against. But here's the challenge. If you really, really believe that all lives matter, why and how does acknowledging that Black lives matter separate us? If it's all under one umbrella, right? Umbrella, all lives, Black, white, kids, women, brown, you know what I mean? If all lives really matter, why is it so offensive for one of these group of lives to speak out and say, yes, our lives matter, help us? Why does it bring separation? You know what I mean? So if you really believe, if you emphatically, you know, wholeheartedly, sincerely believe all lives matter, then why would you separate and negate the other? Check your ingredients. You know, the thing I want people to understand, and here's the thing, even if, you know, you feel some kind of way about Black Lives Matter, or even blue lives, meaning, you know, police officers, the officers of blue. If you feel some kind of way about that, you know, check your ingredients, meaning, you know, you can care less if an officer dies versus, you know, a Black person or a white person or whatever the case may be. Check your ingredients. You know, we talk a whole lot. We fight a whole lot. We separate a whole lot. But are you really doing the work to pay attention to what you offer the situation? You know what I mean? So check your ingredients. The thing is, the more we focus on being separated, the more we're distracted from what the matters really going on, you know, that we need to focus on. Matters of the heart, matters of society, you know, things of that nature. So even myself, I had to, you know, check my ingredients lately, because I'm so hurt and I'm so overwhelmed by the ignorance. I have a very low threshold for ignorance. So I had to check my ingredients, because now I'm getting angry. You know what I mean? And now my anger can lead to bitterness. My anger can lead to the dissension with other people that disagree or saying hateful things. I had to check my ingredients. But what I decided to do was not just check my ingredients, but I check my ingredients and I surrender them to God, because like I said, I'm a believer. So if you really are a believer, I would encourage you to surrender your ingredients, you know, to God, and you know, allow him to order your steps, because there's things, whether you believe in God or not, there's things that's happening in this world that we don't see. And most of the time we choose not to see, because we're so focused on being right and fighting each other that we're not really getting to the bottom line, to the root of things. If you really break down all the roots, it's a heart issue, it's a mind issue, it's a good issue, it's a bad, evil issue. You know what I mean? So while we focus on black, white, old, gray, whatever, It's more about the things that we don't really pay attention to, and we're deceived and misled every day and distracted every single day. So before I let you go, I just want to encourage you all again to not just hear each other to respond. I heard enough. Let me just say this. But hear each other enough to really listen and understand. I hear the statistics, and I hear, well, the statistics shows, well, I'll support this only if. No, listen to each other. Really listen. If all lives matter, if your ingredients equals concern, compassion, understanding, then you should be listening. If you really have the ingredients that it takes to unify, then we would do that. And if we're not, we have to check our ingredients. If you believe in good, then you believe in evil. Keep that in mind, and so at the end of the day, check your heart. Our heart matters. For me as a believer, Christ matters. That's the only way I surrender all of these not so great things that's going on with me. I have to surrender to him and get back right, because as it relates to being a heart matter, the heart matter also equates love. The bottom line is, if we really loved each other, regardless of how you look, what race you were born into, whatever the case may be, if you really loved each other, love conquers all things. Period. So I would encourage you all to get back to love, get back to understanding, be honest with yourself and check your ingredients. And then perhaps change can happen. Some things won't ever change. Some things it's just that's just the way it is. It's going to be in proper order. We just have to govern ourselves accordingly and live our lives right. You know what I'm saying? We have to focus on what's important for us as we move forward, and just get our lives, together and in order. So you all be very blessed, be dynamic, be amazing, and walk in love.